Okay, we are live. Bruno G. Bruno Guimaraes. Potato. We've finally done it. 75 million. I think that's a great deal. I genuinely think that's a good deal. I know there was and ahhing with Newcastle about packages and add-ons and all this, that. In the end, we're just like, look, 75 mil, have it. They took it. And I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying it was ever going to be because it's their captain. He's a great player. I mean, you'd say world class. I'd say world class. To some, no. But look, why not? Brazil, international, starting 11. Newcastle, captain, like I've said. Premier League proven. I mean, won trophies with Newcastle for the first time in years for them. And I just think, what a signing. What a statement signing. Like, we've all been talking about Vinny and what he could do for us and with his brand, his image, his obviously stature as a player, world-class elite player. That's why I say Bruno is world-class because Vinny's, Mbappe's of the world, they're elite. But the Brunos, the Rices, Sakas, they're world-class. I think there's a difference. And we've got a great, I don't want to say deal, because it's still a lot of money, but at the same time, in this current climate, bro, it's good. It's good business. You know, we've seen Tonali go for 85 mil plus, I think, 90, something like that. Um, Anderson, 116 mil. There's English tax on that. So that's that. Um, Obviously, Rogers, different player, different position. 117 mil. Bruno, though, we were in for him before he went to Newcastle. So there was always that bittersweet with us and with the two clubs. Obviously, there was some jabs in there with his welcome video with Newcastle. And, bro, I got to say, like, people are talking about his age and this and that. We have to sign players for the now, bro. We have to sign players. But, yeah, today's stream, and I was going to do a video, but I thought, nah. I woke up late, had my lunch. I'm still healing from a sprained ankle, so I'm kind of hopping around. But yeah, Ornstein Bomber, everyone's saying it. Fabrizio. I was like, nah, there's no point me doing a video. Let's do a stream. If anyone joins, cool. People watch it back, even better. But yeah, 75 mil. I think Leon get like a 20% sell-on fee, so that's good for them. But I'm buzzing, man. I'm so happy about this one. And we are going to talk about what it means for our team because we speak about Rice, needing a rest and all of that. And I think it needed to happen. Whether he plays alongside Rice, or he covers him for the couple of months he's probably going to be out and then plays with him. That's even better, bro. But yeah, we are on hold on a second. We are on here. So share the screen. Screen. I haven't actually used. There we go. That should work. There we go. Jobs are good. Why am I so small? That's better. Yeah. So look, obviously Sky Sports, they're pretty late to the party, to be fair. But there was a lot of and ahhing with Newcastle journalists specifically because they're obviously salty, they're sour. They don't want their prized possession, their captain, to be leaving so easily to a team that we have kind of a, I wouldn't say rivalry with, but there's definitely that bit of tenacity between our clubs, like when we play, Could it be the Bruno thing? Could have been. Bruno always looked like he was up for a fight when he played with us, against us, with Jorginho and that elbow and everything else. But look, they've lost their manager. They've lost so many players to bigger clubs, I want to say. And look, Bruno's the latest one, So 75 mil, flat fee apparently. This is what I've been hearing as well. Apparently as well, okay, I said that twice. He was meant to sign ages ago or a couple of days ago, but he wanted to go out to Spain to say bye to the team. And that's a captain, bro. Like, you don't want to leave your team because they've just lost the manager and other players. You don't want to leave your team that you've played for the last few years with, that you've captained, sort of high and dry. No goodbyes, no sort of speech or whatever. So rightly so. Like he went out to Spain apparently, said his goodbyes. That's why I think from what I've heard and seen, that's why it was delayed a day or two. Obviously, fees and everything gets distinguished and discussed and agreed upon. So yeah, Bruno, Arsenal, amazing. I can't remember a time where we've gone out, apart from Rice. This is why I've said in a previous video. Shout out to the chat, by the way. This is why I said in a previous video. This feels very much like a Rice, that Rice signing. We've gone out, we've signed a captain, arguably their best player. Well, right now he's definitely their best player, and we've just gone all out for him. Obviously, it's not 100 mils of the world, but for a player who we wanted to have before he went to Newcastle, and technically his age comes into it, I guess. That's how Arsenal always have viewed players, but it don't really matter, man. When a player of this caliber is wanting to come to you, he said it before, and this is why it's all probably come about as well. Like him saying he wants to leave and go to Arsenal, even before Eddie Howe announced he was leaving and everything else. But I'm happy, bro. I'm so happy. This is a statement signing. We've all been sort of wrapped up and I don't want to say like preoccupied. That's the word. Preoccupied with the Vinny saga, the news and everything else. But this was the one, you know. This was the one. And potentially, I don't want to say anything in case, because I know the Vinny meetings are actually happening no, it's not Monday. It's Wednesday. My watch is wrong. Yeah, it's happening today. So who knows what could happen? Imagine a Bruno and a Vinny massive bomber for Arsenal. Look, it is what it is. Let's see what happens. But Bruno, Gabriel, Magalhaes, Jesus. I don't know if he's going to still be here, but yeah, let's leave it at that. And Martinelli. 4 players, Brazilian players, Brazilian core to that starting 11, that national team. I know Martinelli's on the fringes and everything else, but Vinny's going to be looking at it like, yo, I'm going to be getting more money most likely in terms of wages or image rights and everything else, if not similar, along with a new fan base to play for, along with a better league, more competition, could be a UCL project and wanting to win it for the first time with them. Bro, why not? I'm leaving this Real Madrid meeting right now, you know, and I'm just saying it could happen, you know, stranger things have happened. But yeah, look, people are saying Bruno or Vinny, if you could have one. And honestly, I said Bruno because although Vinny brings you a whole different dimension, a whole different status in terms of signing and branding and, you know, just putting fear in the opposition. It's a new league. Yeah, I'm not saying he couldn't do it. He definitely could. But Bruno, Prem proven, captain material, tenacity to the T, and Arteta loves him. Like he's such an Arteta player. He reminds me of a Xhaka, like just with better tech, better mobility and you know fitness and everything. But yeah, I'm loving this, man. I'm so happy with this signing. This, bro, if you would have told me pre-Arteta we're going in for players like this from the same league, because we weren't really signing players from the same league like this. Like, I know it's a Newcastle, it's not sort of how could you say a direct rival or a top 6, you know, yeah, top 6 rival. Yeah, I think this is a big statement, man. And winning the league, you need to be signing players like this to retain and to also go to the next step and get in the Champions League. Do you know what I'm saying? But no, let's read through this a little bit. I've just had coffee, by the way. So chin. I'm a bit bit jittery to say the least. Bruno Guimaraes, transfer news. Arsenal agrees 75 mil fee for Newcastle midfielder. Beautiful. Arsenal reached deal for Newcastle captain Bruno. He has 2 years remaining on his contract at St James Park. The Gunners have now agreed a 75 mil fee for the Brazilian, who has been given permission to travel for a medical. Yeah, basically saying the same stuff. Oh, what is going on with that? Let me zoom in a bit. These ads are a bit ugh. Oh, okay. So he's had the most duels won, even ahead of all of our players from last season. Miles Lewis, Skelly, Rice, even. That's a mad one. Zubi. Yeah. So apparently they're saying the opening bid was rejected. But again, we've done it. Who joined the Magpies in 2022 from Lyon for 40 mil, has made 195 appearances. Wow. That is a lot of appearances, you know. But yeah, it's great. I can't play anything because obviously, you know, copyright and all that. But oh, my phone's going off. Newcastle have been taken to ensure Guimaraes has 2 years left on the contract, plus a club-held option for a third, remained at the club. But if the deal goes through as expected, they will have more than 240 million from players sold this summer. This summer, bro. Not even like from the Isak deal and everything. Oh yeah, Anthony Gordon for Barcelona, 90, almost 70 mil basically. Spurs for Tonali. Was he 100 mil? 100 mil for Tonali. Now I love ravioli and pasta as much as the next guy and lasagna. But bro, 100 mil? He's about the same price as Guimaraes, if I'm honest. I'm not saying he's better because Guimaraes is clear for me in terms of what he offers for the team. I know Tonali is probably the best, like better box to box crasher and up and down the field, and you know midfield general if you like. In terms of workhorse, 100 mil is mental. Yeah, Eddie Howe's also left as well, which I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It all depends on who they sign, how they sign, but it would not surprise me if Newcastle are down in the dumps in terms of relegation battle because who do they have? Like Joe Linton wants to leave. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all these players, Lewis Hall apparently United, Livramento City. Like, come on, man, it's mad. There's our boy. There's our boy in the Newcastle stripes, but it's going to be Arsenal stripes within the next day or two. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, apparently Newcastle were desperate to keep Bruno, and if he had said that he wanted to stay, Newcastle would have refused any offer from Arsenal. Attempts to persuade Guimaraes otherwise were made and positive conversations were held, but he was insistent he wanted to leave. He felt this was his last big opportunity to win titles. And see, we talk about age and why it works against us, why we shouldn't sign these players, but of course. But Vinny, he's 26. So you could argue the next couple of years, he could still play for Madrid, maybe 28, 29, maybe. He could still go to an Arsenal, a City, a PSG, and still have a blinder of a contract on there. So you're not as eager to leave compared to a Bruno at a 28, a 29. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, look, it makes sense, man. The deal could only go ahead if two things happened. Guimaraes said he wanted to leave, which he has. Newcastle sold on their terms, similar to Tonali and Gordon. Newcastle insisted it was their valuation or no deal. They would only sell Guimaraes at a fee that would become one of the highest paid for a player aged 28 or over. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, let me know in the chat if this does add up, because from what we've heard, bar the Newcastle journalists, because they were always throwing spanners in the works because they don't want this to happen. They didn't want it to happen. But guess what? However, lads, it has happened. In addition, a deal would only be sanctioned if the situation was handled properly. For example, Guimaraes attended Newcastle's training camp in Spain, which he reported to on Monday. See, I haven't even read this, but this is what has happened. He wanted to go, say goodbye to everyone. See, because I think this is the first time he's linked up with them because he's had the World Cup rest and he hasn't sort of reported for preseason. And I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, he could still make our preseason and make the Coventry game if training goes well and medicals obviously all good. But anyway, excuse me. Agents were in between the clubs from the outset, but Newcastle refused all pushes, which had began, with mentions of a deal worth 40 to 45 mil in June. Bro, we were never getting him for that. Yeah, Newcastle were left frustrated because they felt Arsenal elongated the transfer by refusing to contact them for weeks. Not gonna lie to you. This sounds like an Arsenal thing to do. Yeah. We're too good. We're too good looking. We're too sexy to be chasing these boys. Let them come to us. Let them text us first. It doesn't work like that, brother. Newcastle insists there have been no fallouts and good relations between the player and the club. That's good. I like that. I like that. A statement signing for Arsenal. This is a statement signing for Arsenal. Guimaraes is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, if not the world. I'm saying that too, bro. I know I'm going to say it because I'm an Arsenal fan. And from a position of strength, Arsenal have taken him from Newcastle. I can't process it, bro. Let me know in the chat. Has this sunk in? If you're Arsenal fans, of course. If you're other fans, just tell us how you feel. Because I want to know what rival fans are saying as well. Because there's not much talk, you know. Normally, when we sign a player, there's always opinions. There's always something like, oh, he's 28, 29. He's not going to be as good. Or just some nonsense with their jealousy. Do you know what I'm saying? But this one, it's awfully quiet. It is awfully quiet. Anyway, smash a like on this video, subscribe as well, because we are going to be doing weekly streams. And we do have a podcast with Cass called Gunners and Giggles every Monday, 8 p.m. or 8:30, depending on the day. We do always let you guys know. But yeah, subscribe over here. This is a new channel, newish. I've been doing this 3 years, but on and off. This is only picked up recently. So yeah, smash a like, subscribe as well. I'm out of breath. Anyway, midfield is already an area of the pitch where Arsenal are strong, but Guimaraes' arrival is certainly an upgrade with Norgard. Yeah, set for a move to Everton. I always said that announcement, that move for Norgard was kind of like the catalyst, the sort of the straw that broke the camel's back to get Bruno. God damn, what was in this coffee? To get Bruno over the line. So yeah, as soon as that happened, and I'm not gonna lie, it sounds mad, and we have an abundance in midfield now, but I would have loved to have Norgard for another season, man, because he didn't really do much for us, and that's nothing against him. That's just how Arteta used him, and I think where the squad was at, you know, because yes, we had the Carabao Cup final, FA Cup, we got pretty far in, but he was never going to play a Champions League. He was never going to play a Premier League because of the stakes and where we were at and where we took it to with City. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a shame. I like him. He seems like a great guy, great lad around the place. But Arteta did speak about, I think, on the day of celebrations, or no, even a press conference after PSG, where big decisions and sacrifices have to be made. And I think what was the word he said? He said, difficult decisions. That was it. Difficult decisions. So whether it is letting go of his fan favorites, you know, Martinelli, a Trossard seemed like a difficult one because although he didn't always start him, he knew he liked him. He knew he could rely on him as a clutch player. Like, come on, probably best 12 man in the league, you know, as a sub. But look, I think when you got Marino coming back, who could arguably play, I want to say as a midfielder, but I do prefer him as an 8 or a striker. So I don't think he's in the same position as a Norgard. However, it's good to have this sort of headache, you know. Mars Lewis Skelly was playing incredibly well at the end of the season. Another one. Started the Champions League final, Zubimendi and Marino, World Cup winners, yeah. And after some rest, will be raring to go. I am paraphrasing, by the way. There's Martin Odegaard and Eze, number 10 positions, which pretty much are locked down. And this is where we're going to talk about in a bit with Nwaneri, because there are talks about him going to Leipzig and Milan. So I don't want to see that happening, bro. But we got to talk in a bit. Yeah, starters potentially, and I think it makes the most sense. Like for the peak powers in midfield, Rice and Guimaraes. Hey, that's kind of good, you know. Rice and Guimaraes. Hey, bro, that, you know, some things are just meant to happen in life. I was meant to lose my hair, and it happened. You know, some things they're just meant to be, bro. Beautiful. Guimaraes and Rice. The Brazilian gives Arteta even more options, and it allows for the possibility for Rice to get a breather in certain games after his exploits last season. It's a world-class midfielder, and if Arsenal weren't favourites for the title already, to be fair, and we spoke about this on Gunners and Giggles, if we didn't sign any more players, this might be a bit of a stretch when I think about it now. I still think we would have been all right, because I'm not scared of a City with Maresca. They're going to be losing Rodri, it looks like. United, they're going to have way more games this season. They haven't signed nearly enough players in depth that they need. Tottenham are Tottenham, let's be fair. Chelsea, I don't know. I don't know how Alonso is going to do. I don't see them pulling up trees, even with a Morgan Rogers. And I don't know who else. Like, who else is there really, bro? That could take our chains, that could really push us. But with a Bruno, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. It should be game set match. Should be is the key word. Should be. Don't clip me. Anyway, question marks were being raised over the fee Newcastle wanted for a player that will be 29 in November. You see, age comes into it, but the deal has been done. Nowhere near the reported 100 mil fee. That was 100 mil though. Wow. I think if he was 2 years younger, even a year younger, it definitely would have been a 100 mil signing. It would have been. Of course, it would have been. Newcastle, obviously, captain and everything. At the start of the transfer window, you'd have probably said this a fair fee. But with the last few weeks we've had in the window, yeah, Rodgers, Anderson, around 100 mil, no, over 100 mil. Guimaraes is a little older, but it's Arsenal's strategy. They want to win now. And look, I keep stopping and starting, but think about Wenger's reign, yeah? And even you could say Emery and whatever. Like, you kind of want to sign a player for the future. We used to sign a Fabregas, bringing in Wilshere, a Ramsey, 17, 18, 16. This looks like where we need to be. This is what has been done by players and teams, teams and managers rather, who want to be ruthless, who want to go back to back, who want to win now, not in a year, 2 years' time. And look, no disrespect to Wenger, he's literally my dad. Yeah, biological, non-biological, it doesn't matter. I think where Wenger was with the finances, he obviously was hindered by the stadium and he can only do so much. He took a lot of heat off the owners because he didn't have money, and he done very well for what he did and what he had. If he had this kind of money though, bro. I'm probably chatting at my, but he probably would have eclipsed a Pep, even maybe a Fergie, longevity and everything. Maybe. But if he had the money that Arteta has and had back then, or has now back then, bro, it would have been scary times, man. But look, shout out to Wenger, bro. Honestly, he's my dad. Yeah, we want midfielders and starting players and world-class players and players with abundance of talent that can come in to replace the abundance of talent in the starting 11. How many seasons have we had where the starting 11, great, probably top 3 in the league. As soon as Raheem Sterling comes on, halas, game, set, match, it's done. It hasn't been this way for a while in terms of depth. And I can't even remember the last time we had this much, like, all-round depth. Not just 2 or 3 coming off the bench. I'm talking about, every position. Every single position, at least 2 players can replace the player with adequate quality, apart from Raya and Kepa. Kepa, please, don't even bother. But yeah, apart from the keeper, and Raya's an anomaly because for me he's the best in the league. I know you got Donnarumma, but Raya, 3 back-to-back Golden Gloves, and yeah, every position, which we probably will talk about in a bit, we've got great depth, bro. You know what? Let's hide this stream for a second. Yeah, big up to everyone. Let me do it this way. I like this. This is better. There you go. So you can see my Instagram and the YouTube channel. So look, let's go through the team. Raya, Kepa, obviously Raya, yeah. But right back, Timber, Ben White, and if you want to throw another one in there, you got Mascara, yeah. Excuse me, I had a very strong coffee. Centre backs, obviously Saliba, Gabriel, Nkapie, Mascara, and a Ben White and a Timber. And I'm sorry, a lot of ands, but you could even put a Rice in there. at right back or centre back. You're forgetting about that because Rice started off as a centre back. Left back, again, Calafiori, he's my guy. Beautiful man. No homo, pause. But Nkapie could play there. Miles Lewis-Skelly, of course, we're forgetting about that. 3 players. It looks like 3 or 4 players in every position so far, apart from goalkeeper. And Melier as well. Yeah, Leeds X1. Right mid, Madwonki. Yeah, okay, cool. He's still all right to do a job, Then you got Saka, our boy. Then you got Nwaneri, which we're going to talk about in a jiff. But we've got Nwaneri who could easily play there. Max Dowman, again, 4 players in one position. Beautiful. Then you got the 10. Let's go 10. We forgot the 10. No. Let's go right. We forgot centre mids. Bruno, Miles Lewis-Skelly again. Declan, Rice with Guimaraes. Zubamendi, that's 4 already, I think. Marino, that's 5. You got Havertz if you want. If we need. That's 6. I feel like there's another one. I really feel like there's another one I'm missing in that centre mid. Norgard's gone, so that's not happening. We'll come back to it if we need, but I think a 6 midfielder in centre mid. It's not even a 10s now, because Eze could play that position. He could if he wanted to. Not, deep line midfielder, but an 8. A left 8. Left wing before we get to Cam or our 10. This is where I feel like we're short, and I think we do need a player, bro. We do need a player, but we got Zolis, which I'm not gonna lie, bro. I like the look of, man. I'm Turkish, I'm Cypriot, so we have a bit of ties to Greek people in Greece. I like the look of him. He looks like he comes from a great family. I love that unveiling video. I love how he looks strong. Definitely having some dolma, some gyros and all of that. Beautiful. Martinelli, who isn't Brazilian, he's from Burnley, but look, if you're playing him in the Champions League, if you're playing him in the Carabaos and everything, I don't mind because he's an impact player now when you think about it. We've seen the goal against City, that little lob over Donnarumma, the goal with Bayern, yeah, who sealed the deal. Like, he still can offer us something. I don't want him to start. I really want a Zolis or a Vinny, of course. Yeah. Heck, I'd even take a Rashford on the left right now, just for depth, just so we're not light going into this midfield, because the left wing has been a problem for at least 3 or 4 years, at least. I'm getting worked up. But look, number 10, Cam. Yeah, you got Eze, you got Odegaard, then you got a Nwaneri in there, then you even have a Havertz in there, because we've seen him and Gyökeres play together, which I like the look of, by the way. But then you've also got a Max Dowman, who has played the 10 before, which, getting older now, I probably think he could do better. I prefer him on the right, of course. He's going to be one of those players, bro. He is going to be one of them elite players, I'm telling you. Yeah, if we manage him well and don't run him into the ground like a Saka and a Rice. But yeah, up front, Marino, again, you could put there. Havertz, Gyökeres, even a Martinelli. Why not? We'll chuck a little Gabriel Martinelli in there, because he has played striker for Brazil and he has played striker for us too. So you got at least 3 or 4 striker options. Obviously, an Alvarez would be ideal. It would be very much ideal. However, I still think that 4 in striker options is still good. Still, at least, I want to say 15 goals a season each. Nah, that's a stretch. All right, let's go 20 for Gyökeres, 20 for Havertz. Then maybe a 10, 15 for Marino, a 10 for Gabby. If they're just playing striker, by the way. Yeah. It seems a bit of a stretch, but it's doable, And Gyökeres, look, he's going to get better. He's going to get fitter. He looks like he's losing weight. If you've seen his training videos at the minute, bro, who needs an Alvarez? Do you know what I'm saying? But look, it's just training. Obviously, a lot of work to be done. So look, that's the depth we're dealing with. And I think I'm not going to go through the Sky report, because look, I've literally been saying what they're saying. Yeah. So there's no point. I'm Sky Sport. I'm Irk Sports right now. But look, Nwaneri, bro. And I want to see if there's any articles about this, because from what I'm hearing, yeah, Leipzig want to buy him. No, I don't want that to happen, man. Even Dortmund, they're saying it's Dortmund, Leipzig, Milan. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, he's gonna be one we regret if we do. Wait. Yeah, so let's go Metro. Look, it's not the most, how do you say it? Reliable sources, yeah. Metro, shout out to Metro, actually. It's a free newspaper over here in the UK. All these pop-ups, bro. Arsenal in advanced talk to sell Nwaneri and set asking price. Arsenal, Nwaneri remains one of the most highly rated players in Europe, despite disappointing campaign with Marseille, who's on loan. The midfielder became the youngest player in Premier League history when he made his debut for Arsenal in 2022 at 17. Yeah, I'm not going to go through it all. 37 appearances for Arsenal that season, which, when you think about it, that's a lot for a 17-year-old. Obviously, covered for Saka, even Odegaard here and there. Yeah. 19-year-old was expected. Bro, how'd you read stuff on this website? What is going on? I know they got to make their money, but bro. Anyway, I'm just going to paraphrase this. Yeah, Arsenal boss were confident he would develop in France, but Nwaneri only made 9 appearances. What? The whole season, he made 9 appearances for Marseille. Do you know how many times we could have used Nwaneri last season? Who would have bailed us out? Who would have turned these 1-0s into 2-0s, 3-0s? Bro, excuse me, that is ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. Well, I know they had a lot of madness going on over there, but come on, man. We could have had a callback clause or something. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, despite failing to make an impact for Marseille, Nwaneri will benefit from his time away from Arsenal and returns looking like a different man, according to Arteta. I like that. On the pitch, he didn't work because a lot happened in Marseille. Arteta said after they beat Girona 4-1 in a preseason friendly. But when you just stand in front of him, you sense the maturity and he looks like a different man. I like that because that's life experience. That's moving to a new country on your own, probably with family or friends, but on your own, away from all your, your comforts of London or in and around where he probably stays. That's life-changing for a 19-year-old. I could not even imagine moving away from my family and friends, my home, at 19. Do you know what I'm saying? And bro, big up to you, man. Obviously, professional footballer is different, but you get what I mean. The experience on paper, it wasn't ideal, but I think he went through something that is going to help him a lot in his career. Despite Arteta's faith in Nwaneri, reports in Italy claim that Arsenal have held talks to offload the teenager during this window. Transfer expert Carlo Pellegatti says Arsenal have held advanced talk with RB Leipzig, man. That'll be a good signing for them. RB Leipzig over a summer move, while AC Milan have also been in contact. It is claimed Arsenal would demand 30 million. What the heck? Hold on a minute. 30 mil, 35 mil for Nwaneri. Are you having a bubble bath, sunshine? 30, brother, just give him away then. Just have them. In fact, let us pay them to take him, bro. You can't be serious, bro. Seriously. 30 mil for Nwaneri. When we sold a Trossard for what, 19 mil or 16 mil? Bro, his age, his talent, his range of like where he could play. Come on, bro. This is what I mean about Arsenal being such a rubbish, and I mean rubbish, selling club. Imagine that's our highest fee for selling a player still, 35 mil. Yeah. Iwobi, I think Iwobi, Balogun, and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Nah, man. You got to be at least 45, 50, bro. In this current climate, in this day and age, for Nwaneri, with all that talent, with all that age, bro. This is what I'm saying. You got at least another 12, 15 years for out of him. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he won't be staying there for the rest of his life, but woosah. Anyway, but they insist on a buyback clause of around 50 million. Okay, that's cool. I'll let that slide then. Forget everything I just said, yeah? Just skip over this part. No, but still, man, I mean, that's mental, bro. 35 mil for Nwaneri, 30 mil even. You can't be serious. Anyway, that will give Arsenal a significant cash injection this summer. Provide Nwaneri with more regular game, then just loan him out, bro. If you're worried about game time and development because you want to buy him back, maybe in a year or two's time or whatever, just loan him out. You're getting rid of the wages. All right, you don't get the 35 mil, but you save long term without buying him back, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Just get rid of Madwonki, man. Madawonki or Martinelli. No, I guess you can't lose players on the left now, but I don't know, bro. Just loan him back out, man, to a good side with good structure, even in the Prem. Why not loan him out to a Fulham, a Bournemouth? You know? Heck. Nah, I was gonna say a big six club, but no, even Newcastle. Why not Newcastle? Do you know what I'm saying? They're losing players left, right, and centre. It would have sweetened the deal with Bruno as a loan, by the way. Anyway, he's already behind the likes of, this is nonsense here. This is where journalists really just waffle because it says Nwaneri is already behind the likes of Rice, Odegaard, Zubimendi, Marino, Eze, Miles Lewis-Skelly in the midfield pecking order. Now, any football fan with an ounce of knowledge knows only Eze and where is he? Odegaard are in the same position. Because he's not playing a 6, bro. He's not even playing an 8. He'll be playing on the wing or as a 10. So whoever wrote this article, my brother, Louis Seeley. Yeah, you look like you've never played even at goals, 7-a-side, brother. So get your facts right, okay? Anyway, I'm still worked up about the selling fee. I'm sorry, guys. Let me know in the chat, though. Do you think we should be selling a Nwaneri? Do you think that's a good fee, the 30, 35 mil? Because I don't. Do you think we should loan him out? Because ideally, for his age and his talent that we know he's got, that would make the most sense, no? Like, just loan him out another season, see how it goes. Then you could sell him, you know? Then you could sell him. Because Madwonki, bro, I really don't think that brother has long left at this club. Like, this is a big season for him as well. And he has come in, done a job. And look, shouts to him. I like him as a player. But his end product still isn't on a level of a Nwaneri and a Saka. Nowhere near. Yeah, in my opinion. Anyway, where was I? Arteta's midfield ranks is set to get even stronger with Bruno. Again, you joker, it is not in the same position, but just for the sake of the article, all right. Earlier in the summer, Arsenal legend Alan Smith tipped his former club to sell Nwaneri, claiming Arteta doesn't trust him. Yeah, that's what kind of seems the theme, innit? But judging by the way he's talking about him in the preseason, I feel like there's something that shifted with Arteta and Nwaneri. Whether Nwaneri's, done more off the ball for him, because I do think that's a factor from Arteta's wingers in his system. His wingers need to be as hardworking off the ball, probably if not more than on the ball, So yeah, I don't know. If Nwaneri is his sort of player as well, you have to factor that in. As an academy product, it's pure profit, isn't it? Yeah, of course. But still, you can get more. And he hasn't had much of a sniff at all when out on loan. Yeah, but that's because of Marseille. They were in a bad place. I think they lost to Zerbi. A lot of their players went AWOL. So, I think as a manager, as a club, you're always a bit reluctant to let a talent go like that, who you've nurtured. But with the financial regulations, can you guys even see that? Yeah, that's better. Sorry. But with the financial regulations, it could free up money to buy elsewhere. The only way, I'm going to say it, the only way we let him go for that money, 35 mil, 30 mil, is if we get a Vinny. The only way I would allow it, and I'm no one, but not allow it, but be cool with, like be not aggrieved with, because I love Nwaneri, bro. Like, he's such a baller, and he's not like any other winger we've got, even attacking wise, like an Odegaard, an Eze. His low center of gravity, his twists and turns, his deliveries as well. He's got a great whip on him, and he's finishing. I'm not gonna bro. He's up there, top 5 finishers in the club. Now that Trossard's gone, I think now it goes probably. Oh, that's a good question. Let me know in the chat as well. Who are our best finishers? Probably Gyökeres when he, you know what I'm talking about. Well, Gyökeres can finish. Who else? Who else, bro? I like Eze's finishing. He's got a great finish on him. Saka, that that cut in, that far corner whip. Oh my gosh, great finish. So that's 3. Who's Odegaard? Nah, he's not that guy. He's got a great pass on him. He can finish, but he's not up there. Do you know what I'm saying? Marino, you could say Marino's a finisher, but I just haven't seen enough compared to the others. Havertz, I don't know, bro. He has his moments, doesn't he? So yeah, I'm gonna put Nwaneri in terms of the sort of caliber of goals I've seen from him. And I know I've only seen a snippet, but the proof's in the pudding. The proof is in the baklava. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we'll see on that. But the player himself might feel that he could do with a move if he feels the gaffer doesn't really have trust in him. Yeah, I guess we'll leave that one there. But look, I don't want Nwaneri to go. I really don't. Because for me, we've done this in the past where we've relied on these sort of players at such a young age. And now we feel entitled and too good to keep these players around, to keep these players in development, to possibly have around for the future. Yes, the buyback clause is great and keep that there. But at the same time, it's like, is he not better than Madwonki? Like, is Madawonki that much better than Nwaneri? And look, of course, age comes into it. He's what, 27? How old is Madwonki? Hold on. Madueke age. He's 24. His brother is 24. All right, so there's 5 years in it, yeah? But look, let's be real. Madwonki, with him, you're going to have probably this season with him, yeah? We've spent 50 mil, 52 mil, whatever it was. You're probably going to see how Saka goes. You don't want to rely on Max Dowman to cover Madwonki, because if Madwonki has to cover Saka, do you see where I'm going with this? So Max Dowman, love him, baller. I'd be twist and turned if I ever played against him. But I do think Madueke, I don't think he's going to be there for that much longer, bro. I'll probably say 2 more seasons max. Yeah, no Dowman. No he. But yeah, I really do think getting rid of Nwaneri, selling him, like if we sell him, big problem. And I've done a video on the channel in terms of the Nwaneri problem. Yeah, and I think it is a problem for us, which we haven't had in a while in terms of depth, players overloading in positions where we've got in abundance. But I think the cam roll could probably be where he shines, because Eze and Odegaard last season were out for quite a lot. Odegaard, he had so many injuries. Eze, I feel like he had an injury or 2, but I do think that step up in quality for him, that was a big gap, in terms of Crystal Palace to Arsenal. So many more games throughout the season. Obviously, international breaks, the quality of opposition as well he's playing against. Big change, and it's not easy, bro. People think because you're in the Prem, you could automatically make the change. But when you're going from maybe 45, 50 games a season to 60, 70 plus, maybe I'm just putting numbers out there. It's a big thing, because you're factoring in the midweek games, which with Palace, you're probably getting once or twice a season with the cup games, if that. With Arsenal, every week, bro. Every other week. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think Eze is going to have a big season this season. I really feel like I've seen enough to know he is an Arsenal player. He's a moments player, but at the same time, we know what he can do. The hat-trick against Spurs, the 2 more goals against Spurs, the Crystal Palace clutch goal, the Newcastle goal where we basically won the game because of that. All these moments, I don't think an Odegaard has in him. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know they're different players. I know they offer things in different systems and different ways of setting up. But an Odegaard, he's more of a provider. It's one of those. But Nwaneri, honestly, I feel like he's right bang in between the two. He's a good moments player. Like he can come up with a good goal, a good set piece, a good whip. But he's also got a pass on him as well. So yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see. I probably think Nwaneri needs to stay. loan him out if you need, but don't sell him, bro. Not for that price. Yeah. However, if this funds the Vinny deal, if it ever happens, yeah, Arteta, I want to shake your hand. Berta, I want to shake your hand, bro. In fact, come round for dinner, bro. We'll have a good old knees up. But that's the only way I think I'd be not cheesed off with. You know what I'm saying? But look, the last thing we're going to do before we start wrapping up, because how long have we been live? 45 minutes. Wow, that's gone quick. We're going to talk about Vinny, man. It's probably why you guys have come. And with the Bruno stuff. Because, 1 hour ago. Daily Express. Oh man, forgive all these adverts, bro. Honestly, these magazine, these magazine adverts are just annoying. Anyway, Vinny, transfer news live. Man United breakthrough. Arsenal done deal. Vinny Jr. meeting today. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm so sorry, but we are going to skim through. Okay, so the Vinny Jr. reportedly in the pipeline, but we know he's got a meeting with Real Madrid today. Yeah, it could be happening right now, to be fair. So, wow. Bayern Munich, Morgan Gibbs White. That is mental. That'd be such a great signing. Remember, they got Elise, by the way. And even though Elise is great, he's up there. He weren't the Elise we know now. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, is there much on Vinny? We'll go for it quick. Atletico preparing bid for Romero. Just get rid of him, brother. He's just a nightmare, isn't he? In fact, keep him, Spurs. Keep him. Yeah, I don't think there's much, to be fair, on Vinny. There's not been much. This is weird, isn't it? Salah going to Trabzonspor. Now, I'm Turkish again, I've told you, but that just feels weird, bro. And when he even talks Turkish, it just sounds like he's Turkish. That's so weird. Mad. I thought he was going to go Besiktas with Leo Trossard, bro. But yeah, Trabzon, mad signing, man. To be fair, they didn't need to pay anything apart from his wages. So you're saving millions. Probably could give him at least up 400,000. That's not even euros. Well, no, that's a stretch. Probably 300,000. In fact, what is he on? Hold on, let's have a look. Let me hide this. Hold on. Salah has contracts Trabzonspor. I know we are getting sidetracked. So he's on a 2-year contract. It's not bad for his age, to be fair. Whoa. Okay, check this out. Check this out, bro. Is it zooming in? All right, look at that. Financial lucrative package. 14.6 million base salary has been signed off, plus an additional 4.3 million. These are pounds, by the way, not lira, not shillings, not rupees, not Fortnite V-Bucks, forget it, in bonuses. So that's mad. So that's 2 years, bro. Only a 2-year contract, by the way. So you do the maths per week. I don't do maths. Yeah. It's a myth. Maths isn't real. I'm joking, but that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. That was 30 minutes ago, by the way. So that's up to date. That's a record salary, apparently. Jeez, man. Now, I thought a Gala, my team, Galatasaray or Besiktas, I thought they would be breaking the bank for him. But although Gala have a Sane, a Victor Osimhen, so they got enough on their plate. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is mental, bro. That is mental. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's any Vinny updates so far. It just looks like they're just saying what we know, like in terms of the crunch contract negotiations with Real at the minute. There's a few, why they're saying it would be the biggest one and this and that, but it's all saying what we know about the deal that Real Madrid are offering versus what he could be getting at Arsenal with, apparently 100% image rights, and Real Madrid don't allow him to have all the image rights, which affect the amount of money he has, obviously. Obviously, there's a lot of things in the pipeline as well with the fact that he signed to Rock Nation. But apparently what I've seen as well is our owners are very chummy with Rock Nation, with Jay-Z and whoever else is over there. Bro, that would be beautiful. You know, if we do get him. So this is according to Google. Real Madrid's offer, according to ESPN reports, they're offering him 22 million euros annually. However, the players' camp is reportedly holding out for an additional 7 million pounds, 8.2 million euros in annual salary. Arsenal's interest, they're not saying how much we're trying to offer him, but apparently it's more. Yeah. And obviously, you got to think we're going to give him more in terms of image rights, in terms of branding, in terms of, you know, whatever he's got going on with us. Because we do have a big pool, London club. We're not big in Real Madrid, but we're a sexy club. We're a classy club. We have way more appeal as an English club when you're trying to move from a Real Madrid. You get what I mean? Rather than if you go to a Chelsea, dare I say, even a City, even maybe a United. I think United have a great pool as well, don't get me wrong. But I think where they are at right now, we're on the up. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we've seen all the videos of him training Madrid, gassing it up like Vinny, number 7, because they know even if he wanted to come Arsenal or Arsenal were going to get him, he won't be getting that number 7, bro. Because Saka is the franchise boy, as you can see on my screen. Saka number 7. Yeah. Let's see about that one, man. But look, I think we're gonna cut it here. We've had a lot to talk about. The Bruno deal, where I stand with Nwaneri, a couple more transfers in there with Salah and everything. And Vinny, doesn't look like there's any news that we don't know of. New news, I should say. If there is, obviously I'll run up another stream. But yeah, subscribe over here, man. Obviously, follow me on Instagram. I made a new Insta. This channel is going to get weekly love. Like every week there's an upload. Every week there's a podcast with me and Cass. Because my main channel is sneakers, yeah, which I've kind of let go of at the minute. I'm not into sneakers in terms of content right now. Still collecting here and there, but I'm not really bothered, you know. My real love right now is football, Arsenal, and gaming. So I'm going to do some more gaming content on my other channel, Broski Reloaded, which is in the description below. So if you like PlayStation, if you like Xbox, as you can see, probably right behind me is a lot of Xbox games. I don't think you can, but yeah, I'm a diehard gamer. I'm a diehard football fan, Arsenal boy. Even though I live in Manchester now, I grew up literally on the same road as the Emirates, man. I went to, well, my primary school was Highbury Quadrant. So I was in and around Highbury, and obviously later on next to the Emirates. So yeah, that's my story. If you're new here, smash a like, subscribe, hype the video if you can. Follow me on the socials. Everything is linked down below in the description. Again, if you're new, we're going to be doing weekly streams, weekly podcasts as well. So I'm going to run up a stream just on my own, just to chat, maybe a guest here and there. But me and Cass, like I said, Gunners and Giggles every single Monday. 8 or 8:30, we have to decide on the day and whatever else. But yeah, just keep an eye out, man. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Big up to everyone. If you're watching this back, again, big up to you. And yeah, Bruno G is an Arsenal player. Next up, Vinny. Vamos. I wouldn't rule it out. Anyway.